Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel. I'm Brad, Lone Wolf, and a few weeks ago you might remember that I tried purifying water in an ad hoc way. I'm going to be honest, I wasn't actually entirely 100% happy with the video, but I put it out anyway, and that's been bugging me. So today I'm going to go and revisit it, and I'm going to be doing things a little bit better. So for example, for the solar still, I'm actually going to be doing this, and you'll see that how I'm going to be doing that in a minute. And you might have noticed that the kettle has had a little modification in that I've turned the whistle into the bung. I've tried it, it does work, not massively effective, but that's probably because I only spent a couple of minutes doing it. We'll see how it goes when we actually go to purify the water. The jars are still there. They've actually got stuff growing in them, which is a little bit of a surprise. And just to prove that the kettle is still lovely and dirty, I don't know if you can see that in there, lovely dirty water that we're going to purify. We'll do them one at a time this time, and we're going to start with the solar still. I'm going to be recording it on that camera, and it will again be time-lapsed, so you won't have to sit through the whole video watching individual drops. So in a second I'm going to swap cameras and you'll see me prepare the bucket, and then hopefully we'll get some water. Bye for now. Alright everybody, so at this point the battery on the camera that was filming this has actually run out, so obviously it stopped filming, but you can see the principle of the way the solar still works. It hasn't quite worked effectively. It does need a couple more hours before it really starts getting going. Doesn't require direct sunlight. It does work best in direct sunlight, but it doesn't require direct sunlight. It actually works on the principles of evaporation, which we all learned at school. So not an abject failure, but you can see the way that this works. So moving on, we will look at the next method that didn't quite work last time. Okay guys, so here's the next one that didn't quite work last time. Again, I've slightly modified it. So in this case, the glass bottle, this one, is actually in a bed of sand like it should be, to regulate the heat. And same with the plastic bottle over here. It's also in another bed of sand. Obviously, as the water's heated up on this one, the water vapor, the steam's going to go through to the plastic bottle, which is in a cold bed of sand. So the sand here is a mixture of sand and cold water. So you should see the condensation, and then obviously become drinkable water. Again, dirty water in there, and nothing in the clear bottle. Again, I will speed up the video so you can see what's going on, but let's get this show on the road. Would help, of course. I'll turn the right one on. Turn it down slightly because I don't want to end up causing any harm to the tin pan. Now obviously if you were doing this in the wild, you'd be doing this over a fire. The plastic bottle on the right would be better off substituted for a glass bottle, and you put them neck to neck, but you do be aware that you could end up losing some of the water vapor from that. Okay, so from here on in I will obviously speed the video up so you don't have to sit and watch this in the raw, as it were. Okay, so I'm actually going to finish that one there. Kind of proves that although that one works to a degree, it's not that great. And it certainly wouldn't be the one I would recommend. And not just because you're effectively heating up glass and that could smash, but more for another reason, and I will show you that right now. Alrighty, so as I just said, I wouldn't recommend that method for one reason in particular, and that's this. So this is slightly different bottle. It's not the one that I was using on the stove, but I've more or less filled the bottle up. When you go to purify it, you have to put the bottle on the side. So in reality, for all the effort that you're putting in, even if you got it to work properly, you'd be getting back about that amount of water, which, and obviously that varies on the neck of the bottle and the shoulders of the bottle as well, but that's kind of a lot of effort for what is effectively not a lot of water. But that's just my opinion. If you want to give it a go, obviously give it a go. I'm not going to stop you. Moving on to the last one. Okay, so you might remember the kettle from last time. Last time you saw it, it had a big bung in the spout, which didn't really work effectively. So I kind of changed that. I took a drill to the whistle and widened it out enough so that I could put a friction fit into the tube, and tube runs up and then down into a glass bottle. In this case I'm actually using a bed of sand, cool sand, as the condenser, and hopefully that will work a little bit better than the rag I had on the end last time. So just going to set the tripod up properly, and then we will get to doing this. Okay guys, so this is the result of doing that final distillation process, as it were. It's quite a significant yield for what is in real time half an hour. I should imagine you'd be able to fill the bottle in maybe a couple of hours. Obviously, I didn't want to run the stove that long. Now, some of you might be asking why, or how could I make it more efficient? Because obviously there was steam coming out of the kettle, the whistle, and the top of the bottle. I actually didn't mind that, and there's a reason for that. If I remember, this isn't a perfectly engineered solution. So if I'd have tried blocking up all the exits and making them perfectly steam proof, I would have effectively turned both the bottle and the kettle into a pressure device with no safety valve. And I think you can imagine what happens when you put a lot of pressure into a pressure device with no safety valve. Yeah, not good. Okay guys, so in conclusion there are several different methods of filtering water and getting clean water in the wild. Obviously I was using the kitchen, but you can use fire out in the wild if you needed to. There are obviously plenty of filters on the market, plenty of water filters on the market that clean water to obviously drinkable standards, but you got to understand the limitations of them. Some of them will filter quicker, some of them will filter longer, as in they'll do more water, and some of them won't get rid of everything. The methods I showed you there, yeah, they're ad hoc, but they are useful if you can get hold of the equipment. Now the last one that I showed you with the kettle and the bottle, I knew that one was going to work before I even started it. Reason being is methods like that have been used for hundreds if not thousands of years in the brewing process and in desalination processes. So I knew that one was going to work anyway. Like I say, if I'd have left it a couple of hours, then I probably would have filled that glass bottle. Didn't want to waste the gas though. But you got the idea. Hopefully that'll give you some idea or a few ideas to go away and try. Obviously check back on the other video. There was one other method on there that that we didn't experiment with today because it worked on that video. But by all means go back and check, and thank you very much for watching, and I shall see you next time. Bye for now.